Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the college basketball, college football, and NHL games from yesterday. Look ahead to tonight's games in each sport. The NBA is back tonight, so we'll go over the slate. We'll go over the election results in the Senate and gubernatorials. We have Masked Singer and Survivor tonight. We'll talk about each show, news and notes, and best bet. All right, we'll start in college basketball. A very small window yesterday. We'll go over those results and look ahead to another small window for today. Albany over Immaculata, 74-47. Providence over Rider, 66-65. Purdue over Milwaukee, 84-53. Sacred Heart over Hartford, 77-70. Detroit Mercy over Rochester, 93-65. East Carolina over Mercer, 77-75. Duquesne over Montana, 91-63. South Carolina over SC State, 80-77. Georgetown over Coppin State, 99-89 in overtime. And San Jose State over Georgia Southern, 63-48. Now we look ahead to tonight's games. 7 o'clock, we have Rockford, Western Illinois, District of Columbia, Howard, North American, Prairie View, Pittsburgh, Greenberg, Robert Morris, Davidson, Wright State. My projection for this game is Davidson by a whopping 26.5, total of 144 and a quarter. And it's only 4.5, total is 149.5. I'm laying it with Davidson. No doubt about it for me. Piedmont, Winthrop, we can skip. American Marist, my projection is Marist 10.5, total 135 and 7/10. And it is 1.5 and 132.5. I'm going to lay the 1.5 with Marist. Hampton, James Madison. My line's James Madison, 27.5, total 140 and 11/20. It's in 17.5 and 151.5. I'm going to lay it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the under, actually. I have a larger edge on the under. Tennessee Martin, Youngstown State. My projection is Martin by 3, total 148 and 4/5. And it's Youngstown State by 8.5, total 154.5. I'm taking Tennessee Martin getting all those points, and they're plus 340 to win outright. That's ridiculous to me. That line is absolutely ridiculous to me. It's not even funny. Youngstown State is freaking horrible. I mean, so is Tennessee Martin, but Tennessee Martin's probably a better team. They give me all those points and give me the plus 342. Once we can skip Mercy, Fairleigh Dickinson, Cairn University, Norfolk State, 8 o'clock Mobile, South Alabama, Champion Christian, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Missouri S&T, and Missouri State. Next is IUPUI and Drake. My projection is Drake by a whopping 34.5, total 131 and 17/20. And it's 26.5 and 131.5. I'm going to lay the 26.5 with Drake. Western Colorado, Utah Valley, we can skip. Next is Western Colorado, Utah Valley, so we can skip. Kansas City and LSU. My line's LSU 35.5, total 138 and 17/20. And it's 22.5 and 140.5. I'll lay the points at LSU. Lipscomb, South Dakota. My projection is Lipscomb 5.5, total 146 and 19/20. And it's South Dakota by 5.5, total 149.5. Wrong team's favored again, giving Lipscomb plus the 5.5 and plus 215 to win the game outright. Monmouth and Seton Hall on Fox Sports 1. Sheem Holloway's first game with Seton Hall. I project them as a 31-point favorite, total 136 and 9/20. And it is Seton Hall by 20.5. Total is 135.5. I'm going to lay the points with Seton Hall. Next up is South Dakota State, Boise State at 9 o'clock. My projections, Boise by a whopping 26.5, total 144 2/5. And it is Boise 6.5, total 143.5. I'll lay to 6.5 with Boise. San Diego Christian, Grand Canyon, California, Maritime, UC Davis. We can skip. ACC Network, Bellarmine and Louisville. This is Kenny Payne's first game. I project Louisville by 21, total 137 and 9/10. And I don't see this line, which is weird. Let's see. The total is 136, and the line is Louisville by 9.5. So I'm going to lay the 9.5 at Louisville. Puget Sound, Seattle at 10 o'clock. We could skip. Florida Gulf Coast, San Diego. My line is San Diego 13, total 137 and 9/10. And I don't see this one up either. San Diego is favored by 6.5. The total for this game is, let's see, 143.5. I'm going to lay the 6.5 with San Diego. And last but not least, Florida A&M and Portland. My projection is Portland 33, total 137 and a 10th, and it's 21.5 and 139.5. I'm going to lay the points with Portland. All right, college football. We'll go over the results from last night and look ahead to the 3 games being played tonight. Eastern Michigan over Akron, 34-28. Ohio over Miami of Ohio, 37-21. And Toledo over Ball State, 28-21. So, yet again, best bet. Garbage. So tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPNU, you have Northern Illinois and Western Michigan. My projections, Western by 4, total 54 3/4. And it's Western by only 1.5, total 49.5. I have to go with another over. I just have to. And Maction, really, I'm just picking the wrong games to go over. As weird as that sounds. ESPN2, Buffalo, Central, Michigan. Central's giving 1.5, totals 54.5. And my line is Buffalo by 2.5, total 56 and 2/10. So I'm going to take Buffalo getting the 1.5, and they're even money on the money line. And on CBS Sports Network, Kent State, Bowling Green, so it's all action. My line's Bowling Green 8.5, total 56 and 13-20. And it is Kent State by 2.5, total 55.5. Ridiculous. Give me Bowling Green getting the 2.5 and plus 116 to win the game outright. That is absolutely ridiculous. That Bowling Green is not a favorite in this game. All right, now we're going to go over the NHL games from last night and look ahead to tonight's games. It was an interesting night, to say the least. Coyotes over the Sabres 4-1. Canadiens over the Red Wings 3-2 in a shootout. Islanders over the Rangers 4-3. Devils over the Flames 3-2. Canucks over the Senators 6-4. Flyers over the Blues 5-1. Golden Knights over the Maple Leafs 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Riley Smith. Oilers over the Lightning 3-2. Stars over the Jets 5-1. Kraken over the Preds 5-1. And the Kings over the Wild 1-0. Only 4 games tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Hurricanes and the Panthers. This game is rumored to be moved because of Hurricane Nicole. It's just ironic that they're playing the Hurricanes, as somebody had brought up to me last night. But it's just coincidental of timing. Florida is actually a home underdog. They're -108. Carolina's the road favorite at -111. Over under 7. Overs +108. Unders -132. Carolina -1.5 is +205. Florida +1.5 is -260. I think the Panthers being a home dog is an overreaction to their Ekblad injury. So I'm taking the Panthers as a home dog, -108. 7:30 Canucks Canadiens. Canucks are -154. The Montreal's +128. Over under 6.5. Overs -120. There's -102. Vancouver -1.5 is +156. Montreal +1.5 is -194. Vancouver's playing a lot better since their slow start. Give me them in regulation at +106. TNT, Penguins, Capitals, 2 teams in the East in free fall. The Pens are favorites at -128. Capitals +106. Over under 6.5. -110 each way. Pens -1.5 is +184. Caps +1.5 is -3. I'm taking the over. I can't go with Pittsburgh as a road favorite, but the Caps have been playing a little better, but it's a rivalry game. I think it's a high-scoring game. And I think there's a reason why Pittsburgh's favored in this game, so that's why I don't want to bet on Washington. So give me the over. And 10 o'clock on TNT, I have the Wild and the Ducks. The Wild are -166. Anaheim's +138. Over under 6.5. Overs -105. Unders -115. Wild -1.5 is +142. Ducks +1.5 is -176. Neither of these teams are off to good starts this season. Give me the over because the Ducks are an over team. All right, the NBA is back tonight after a one-night hiatus. So, I apologize, guys, in advance because I did not do totals today. I just did lines. And I don't think I would have edges on any of the totals either because these lines are whack. All right, first up at 7 o'clock. Or no, 5:30, you have the Mavericks at the Magic. They moved this game in anticipation of Hurricane Nicole. I'm surprised that the Panthers didn't follow suit yet. This game got moved to 5:30. The Mavs are 7-point favorites, also 14. I have Mavs by 11. I'm laying the points. Blazers, Hornets at 7. Blazers are giving 4.5. I have it at a whopping 17 because of the Charlotte injuries. Give me Portland minus the points. Nuggets, Pacers. I have by the Denver by whopping 19. It's 5.5. I'll lay the points. 7:30 Jazz, Hawks. I have Hawks by 14. It's 3.5. I'll lay the points. Pistons, Celtics. I have Boston by 18. It's 13. I'll lay the points. ESPN, Nets, Knicks from Barclays. If I had to guess, it's Mike Breen and Jeff Van Gundy on the call. I project the Knicks as a favorite, and they're not favored. They're 3-point home underdogs to Kevin Durant. And the Nets give me New York +3 and +122 outright. No Kyrie Irving. The Nets are going to lose. Next up, Rockets, Raptors. Rockets are 10-point dogs. I have it at 16.5. I'll lay the points. Pels, Bulls. I have Pels by 2 and Chicago. Actually, no. Pels are 1.5-point favorites. This is one of the few lines I got close. I'm going to go with the under. Suns, Timberwolves. I have Wolves by 1. And they're 1.5-point dogs. Give me Minnesota +1.5 and +102 outright. Bucks, Thunder. The Bucks are giving 6. I'm laying the points. I have it by 20. Next is the Grizzlies and the Spurs. Grizzlies are giving 5.5. It has a whopping 14.5. I'll lay the point. 10 o'clock ESPN, the Lakers and the Clippers. My guess for this game will be Dave Pasch and Mark Jackson. Whoa. I was right about the first game. I was right about the second game, but Beth Mowins is calling Knicks Nets. Oh, that's because Kenny Albert can't fill in for Mike Breen on MSG because Kenny Albert has TNT duties for hockey. That's ridiculous. Why not have Ed Cohen do the game and have John Giannone, the Rangers reporter, do the Knick game on the radio? That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Beth Mowins, all due respect, but Mike Breen should be on this game on the big stage. It's all because of Kenny Albert at TNT. And he can't cover. So that's what it is. And then the other game, I was right, Dave Pasch and Mark Jackson. My projection is Clippers 9.5, and it's 4.5. I'll lay the points. That's an overreaction thinking LeBron's playing. And my 9.5's with LeBron and without Kawhi. And Cavs Kings, I have Cavs 9. It's 4. I'll lay the points. All right, now we're going to talk about the election results. We're just going to do rapid fire because of time. Some of these were pretty close, others were not. We'll start with gubernatorial. We'll just go around the map. Maine, 81% reporting Janet Mills over Paula Page with 55.7% of the vote to 42.4. New Hampshire, incumbent Chris Sununu beats Ton Sherman, 56.9, 41.9, 81% reporting. Vermont, Phil Scott knocks off Brenda Siegel, 71.3 reporting to 24.1. 99% reporting. Massachusetts. So a Democrat takes over here. Maura Healey over Jeff Deal, 63.1 to 35.3 with 86% reporting. Rhode Island, Daniel McKee over Ashley Caluce, 58% to 39.1% with 88% reporting. Connecticut, Ned Lamont, 55.3 over Bob Stefanowski, 43.7 with 94% reporting. New York with 93% reporting, Kathy Hochul over Lee Zedlin, 52.7 over 47.3. Pennsylvania, Josh Shaprio over Douglas Mastronaldo, 55.6%, 42.6% with 93% reporting. Maryland, Democrat takes over here. Wes Moore over Dan Cox, 59.8, 37.1 with 89% reporting. Ohio, Mike DeWine regains the House, 62.8% to 37.2% over Dan Whaley with 97% reporting. Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer over Tudor Dixon, 54% to 44.4% with 88% of the vote. Wisconsin, Tony Evers over Tim Michaels, 51.2 to 47.8 with 99% reporting. Illinois, J.B. Pritzker over Darren Bailey, 54.3 to 42.9 with 90% of the vote. Iowa, Kim Reynolds over Deidre DeJere, 58.1 to 39.6 with 99% reporting. Minnesota, Tim Walz over Scott Jansen, 52.3, 44.6 with 95% reporting. Nebraska, Jim Pillen over Carol Blood, 60.5 to 35.6 with 99% reporting. San Diego, Kristi Noem over Jamie Smith, 62% over 35.2% with 97% in. Wyoming, Mark Gordon over Teresa Livingston, 78.7 to 16.8 with 94% reporting. That's crazy stuff. Colorado, Jared Polis over Heidi Ganal, 57.6, 40.3 with 80% reporting. Idaho, Brad Little over Stephen Height, 60.7 to 20.9 with 78% reporting. Oregon's not called yet. That's Tina Kotek and Christine Drazen are neck and neck. Kotek has a very slight lead, 45.7 to 44.7 with 67% reporting. So that's one still not called. Gavin Newsom over Brian Daly, 58-42, 41% reporting. Nevada's not done yet. How about this? This could be the incumbent that loses. Joe Lombardo has a 50.6 to 45.8 lead over incumbent Steve Sisolak with 72% reporting. So that's not done yet. Arizona's not done yet. Democrat Katie Hobbs has a 50.3 to 49.7 lead over Carrie Lake with 66% reporting. Alaska, that's not called, but it should be called. Mike Dunleavy with a 52 to 23.1 lead over Les Gara with 75% reporting. Hawaii, Josh Green over Duke Iona, 64.8 to 35.2 with 87% reporting. New Mexico, so that one has been called as Democrat Michelle Lujan Grisham defeats Mark Ronchetti, 51.8 to 45.7 with 98% of the vote. Texas, Greg Abbott over Beto O'Rourke, 54.9 to 48.3.8 with 97% of the vote. Oklahoma, Kevin Stritt over Joy Hoffmeister, 55.5 to 41.8 with 99% reporting. Kansas is not called yet, which is interesting. 99% of the reporting, it should be called. I'm surprised it's not. There must be extra votes flowing out there that we're not unaware of. Laura Kelly over Derek Schmidt, 49.2 to 47.7. So they're not calling it with a 1.5 lead. Nebraska, Jim Pillen over Carol Blood, 60.5 to 35.6 with 99% reporting. Arkansas, that comes to no surprise as that was a not surprising result as Sarah Huckabee Sanders defeats Chris Jones 63.1 to 35.1 with 93% of the vote in. Tennessee, Bill Lee over Jason Martin, 65.3 to 32.6 with 92% reporting. Alabama, Kay Ivey over Yolanda Flowers, 67.4 to 29.4 with 88% reporting. Florida, Ron DeSantis over Charlie Crist, 59.4 to 40% with 99% reporting. Georgia, Brian Kemp over Stacey Abrams, 53.4 to 45.9 with 98% reporting. And South Carolina, Henry McMaster over Joe Cunningham, 58.1 to 40.6 with 89% reporting. So, it's the gubernatorial results and the Senate. Some of the Senate stuff is not called yet, but we're going to go over all of it. Vermont, Peter Walsh over Gerald McCoy, 68.6 to 28.1 with 99% reporting. Maggie Hassan over Donald Bolduc in New Hampshire, 54.1 to 43.9 with 82% of the vote. And then Connecticut, we have Richard Blumenthal over Leora Levy, 56-7 to 43-3 with 94% reporting. And Maryland for Senate, we have Chris Van Hollen over Chris Chaffee, 60.8 to 39.2 with 89% reporting. New York, we have Charles Schumer over Joe Pinion, 55.9 to 43.2 with 82% reporting. Pennsylvania, we had one of the more interesting and closer races as John Fetterman knocks off Mehmet Oz, 50.3 to 47.3 with 93% of the vote in. Ohio, J.D. Vance over Tim Ryan, 53.3 to 46.7 with 97% reporting. Kentucky, Rand Paul over Charles Booker, 61.4 to 38.6 with 87% reporting. Indiana, Todd Young over Thomas McDermott, 58.9 to 37.6 with 89% reporting. Illinois, we had one that comes to no surprise. Tammy Duckenworth over Kathy Salvi, 56.2 to 42.1 with 90% reporting. Wisconsin's still in the air between Ron Johnson and Mandela Barnes. 1% splits them, 50.5 to 49.5 with 99% reporting. The Iowa one was another interesting one as Chuck Gracely defeats Michael Franken, 56.1 to 43.9 with 99% of the vote in. And then Missouri, we had Eric Schmidt over Trudy Bush Valentine, 55.5 to 42.1 with 89% of the vote. Kansas, we had Jerry Morin over Mark Collins, 60.5 to 36.6 with 99% reporting. South Dakota, John Thune over Brian Banks, 69.6 to 26.2 with 99% reporting. North Dakota, you had John Hoven over Christina Christensen, 56.5 to 25% with 99% of the vote in. Idaho, Mike Crapo over David Roth, 59.5 to 29.4 with 78% of the vote in. Washington, Patty Murray over Tiffany Smiley, 57 to 43 with 57% of the vote in. Oregon, Ron Wyden over Joe Ray Perkins, 55.2 to 42.1 with 66% reporting. California, Alex Padilla over Mark Musser, 59.1 to 40.9 with 41% reporting. Nevada is not called yet. Adam Luxalt has a lead over Catherine Cortez Masto, 49.9 to 47.2 with 72% of the vote in, so that's one's not called yet. Utah, Mike Lee over Evan McMullen, 55.4 to 41, 58% in. Arizona not called yet either. Mark Kelly has a 51.4 lead over Blake Masters with 66% reporting. Alaska not called yet. Kelly Tshibaka over Lisa Murkowski as of now, 44.4 to 42.7 with 75% reporting. And Colorado is done as Michael Bennett over Joe O'Day, 54.9 to 42.5 with 80% of the reporting. Hawaii, Brian Schatz over Bob McDermott, 72.5 to 25% 87%. Kansas, Jerry Morin over Mark Collin, 60.5 to 36.6 with 99% of the vote. We had 2 in Oklahoma, the regular one and the special one. The regular one, you had James Langford over Madison Horn, 64.3 to 32.1. And the special one, Mark Wayne Mullen over Kendra Horn, 61.8 to 35.2 with 99% reporting. Arkansas's John Boozman over Natalie James, 65.8 to 31 with 93% reporting. Louisiana, John Kennedy over Gray Chalmers, 61.6 to 17.8 with 99% reporting. Alabama, Katie Britt over Will Boyd, 66.8 to 30.9 with 88% reporting. Florida, Marco Rubio over Val Demings, 57.7 to 41.3 with 99% reporting. Georgia, still up in the air. This is going to have to go in a potential runoff. As this is definitely the closest one, with Raphael Warnock with the slight lead over Herschel Walker, 49-4 to 48-5 at 98% of the vote in. So we could find out that result today. South Carolina, Tim Scott over Crystal Matthews, 63 to 37 with 88% of the voted. And North Carolina, Ted Budd over Cherry Beasley, 50.7 to 47.1 with 98% of the vote. All right, Masked Singer. New episode tonight, new characters. As the Lambs will move on to the semifinal along with the Harp. It's interesting to see what characters they have. Couple notes for this episode that I want to get into. Ken Jeong will not be on this episode as he tested positive for COVID, so he was not there for this episode. And Joel McHale was in his place to be a substitute panelist. So this is going to be an odd episode without Ken Jeong. And this is the first time a panelist tested positive for COVID and had to miss the show. I know Nick Cannon missed a few episodes, and he was not there. Oh, what if Ken Jeong's under one of the masks in one of these next couple episodes? I'm calling it now. He's this season's Nick Cannon, where he's going to be under the mask in probably one of the next couple episodes. As not tonight, but Nick Cannon did have COVID, and then he came back and was one of the characters, one of the contestants. So I could see Ken Jeong doing something similar here, considering the type of season that the Masked Singer is having this year. And then this episode is being dedicated to the late Leslie Jordan, so that is really nice. And Leslie Jordan obviously was a guest panelist on The Masked Singer, and it's the second person to have passed away that's been on The Masked Singer, the other one being obviously Bob Saget as a contestant, and Leslie Jordan was just there as a guest panelist. So that's just very sad that Leslie had passed. It was such a stunning passing too, and thoughts and prayers go out to Leslie's family and his friends and the Masked Singer family. That's really awesome that they dedicated this episode to Leslie Jordan. It's just unfortunate that Ken is not there in this episode. All right, Survivor. It's going to be an interesting show tonight, to say the least. It is down to 10, if I'm not mistaken. It's Cody, Cassidy, Carla, Mike, which is Gabler, James, Owen, Noel, Sammy, Jesse, Ryan, and Janine. So they're down to 11 now. Dwight got voted out in the last episode. So I like that everybody's so close from this group. So it's hard to predict who could be in trouble. Every week, a new name appears in terms of somebody being potentially voted out. So obviously, Gabler won immunity last week. So this week, I have a feeling that Carla's going to win immunity. I really like Carla on this show. She's one of the more improved contestants on the show. Not that she was bad or anything. I just think that Carla was good, and now I think she's great. And somebody that I think is very improved as well is Cassidy, who was on the chopping block for a lot of people in Tribal Council, and I think she's won some people over. So, my prediction is that Carla wins individual immunity, and the person that goes home, I think Ryan's in trouble. I know they've been throwing Ryan out a lot. I think it's going to come out that he lied about his age, or he's lying to people about his age. Or no, that's Sammy. But, Sammy's the one that's lying about his age to everybody. That's going to bite Sammy at some point. But Sammy's a great player. I think he has a shot to win. But Ryan, to me, is someone that's vulnerable this week when it comes to Tribal Council. But if there's like a bold call, it's going to be Gabler. But I think Gabler is safe for the next several weeks because he won immunity. And I think he won some of his opponents back over with his performance last week and being so supportive of Noel's situation. So I think that Gabler's won himself over for the next maybe 2 episodes or so. So if I had to blindly guess who goes home tonight, I'm going to say it's Ryan, and the person who I think is going to win individual immunity is going to be Carla. All right, now I'm going to go to news and notes for today. It's going to be interesting these next couple days with news and notes, considering a lot that's going on. We'll start in football. Josh Allen's Week 10 status unclear as it's believed to have a sprained UCL, but injuries is not considered major and quarterback is day-to-day. And there's rumors that he might have to get Tommy John surgery, which is wild as well. A big story yesterday is that Week 11 made a change where I have our first flex of the season as Chiefs-Chargers is going to primetime. So the second time this year, Chiefs-Chargers in primetime, as it will replace the Steelers-Bengals game from Pittsburgh, which is getting moved to 425. Obviously, it's because Pittsburgh's been worse than we expected, and Jamar Chase is hurt. So, Brett Favre, concussion controversy as 2 concussion drug companies backed by Brett Favre exaggerated the effectiveness of their drugs to raise money. Frank Reich opened up about his firing. He says he's disappointed in falling short of his goals, but says he gave his heart and soul to the job. I mean, I think he said all the right things. And then 30-year-old quarterbacks coach Parks Frazier is expected to call plays against the Raiders, which is crazy. Speaking of the Raiders, they cut first-round safety Jonathan Abrams, such a big bust. And Jerry Jones teases an Odell Beckham signing. I know the Cowboy star on that helmet when he puts it on could look pretty good. Boy, this would be an excellent signing for Dallas, in my opinion. And it's just a stick it to the Giants and the Eagles too. the Giants because he used to be on the Giants, and the Eagles because the Cowboys would then get themselves closer to the Eagles rather than further away with this potential move. Some basketball. The Lakers are eyeing a specific player as they're waiting for a specific player to be available before making any trade and won't do Kyrie or Pacers deal. Is that specific player named Kevin Durant? Probably. NBA's last 2-minute reports that Klay Thompson committed a foul on Kevin Huerter's game-tying 3-point attempt. Didn't call it. You know what everybody's thinking. Kyrie Irving and Adam Silver met yesterday as the two sides had a productive and understanding visit to work through Kyrie's steps towards return to the Nets. Cam Johnson out 1 to 2 months as he undergoes surgery to remove part of his meniscus. Brutal loss for the Suns. And guess what? Maybe Jay Crowder is going to have to play. Some soccer news is that goalkeeper Zach Steffen not expected to be in the World Cup squad. Ethan Horvath, Sean Johnson, and Matt Turner make the cut. I think Sean Johnson is someone that's going to be really an impact guy for them. I think he should be the starting goalie. He was on the team that won the MLS Cup. Not this past season, but the season before that. So I would pick Sean Johnson from NYCFC. So defender Richards is out of the World Cup for USMNT as he will not go to Qatar due to a lingering leg injury. And Mane is out of the World Cup as the Senegal stars to miss several weeks with a leg injury suffered playing for Bayard on Tuesday. A lot of baseball stuff. Brian Cashman at the GM meeting says that Josh Donaldson will be the team's third baseman next season, so not surprising to say the least. He was very disappointing this past season, Josh Donaldson. The Yankees are also to offer Anthony Rizzo a $19.7 million qualifying offer and has until November 15th to accept. The Yankees are likely to enter the race for NPB top hitter Masataka Yoshida if he's posted. These guys have been pretty successful coming over. And then Pablo Lopez is available for trade for the Marlins, not surprising. The Mariners are in on Japanese star Kodai Senga as they view him as an impact pitcher and plans to reach out. Kind of like a Masahiro Tanaka type. I think the Yankees should look at him. I think that the Mets have to look at him, considering that Jacob deGrom and Chris Bassett might leave. Another team interested in Kodai Senga is the Toronto Blue Jays. So Jacob deGrom likely to leave the Mets as there are strong indications that another team will help the Mets in their effort to keep Jacob deGrom. And the Braves and the Rangers have the Mets worried. Eric Hosmer opts in the deal. Jorge Soler opting in with the Marlins. The Red Sox are exploring second base trades as they're figuring out plan B if Xander Bogaerts leaves. Wilson Contreras declines his option as he's now a free agent. The Texas Rangers are waiting on Clayton Kershaw as the team is engaging Kershaw's camp patiently to see if he is considering leaving the Dodgers. And some hockey news is that the Blackhawks have had zero talks with teams on a deal for Patrick Kane and don't foresee anything happening soon. I think the Rangers should do it. I really do. Because that would make them the team to beat in the East. I think a lot of teams should do it. I think Calgary should do it. I think Florida should do it. Honestly, dare I say the New Jersey Devils should take a look as well. The Islanders. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. best bet's going to be in the NBA. The Clipper line just went down to 3. So that means LeBron is definitely playing. But my best bet on the board is the Hawks -3 at home against the Jazz. Why is that low? If the Jazz win, eat my crow. Atlanta's an absolute lock tonight, -3 at home against the Jazz. The Jazz are frauds, and everyone and their mother knows that. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look ahead to everything tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.